I recently made a big fool of myself on my live stream when the track chosen for Cup of the Day was a backwards track, a style that historically I have been really good at, even winning some backwards Cup of the Days in the past and always placing quite high. But in this one, things already went bad in the qualifier. I was feeling very confident and very relaxed and I didn't think I had much to fear, but as the timer ticked down, I quickly realized that I was outside the spots for Division 1 and I kept failing the last jump repeatedly. And suddenly, the moment was gone. I was Div 2 on a backwards map, something that I could hardly believe. Every round in Division 2, I was trying to compare my rounds with Div 1 to see if I would have won, but guess what? I wouldn't even have had a chance there. Like, I was washed. After the cup was over, I decided I had to hunt this track for the Track of the Day world record. Every day, there's 24 hours. Every day in Trackmania, there's a competition called Track of the Day that runs for 24 hours, where the winner is the person who has the world record as the timer hits 0. The world records on that track are then locked into the game forever. But for now, I just wanted to see if I could beat the current world record, a 42.92 by Frank. What did Alcon do? What is this bug slide strategy people are discussing? You know, he might have actually lost time with this. I mean, he's like a 10th ahead of Giuliano here. But this is Alcon for you. If it's cooler, he'll do it. Can you jump direct to the other finish? You'd skip a checkpoint. But what you can do is a bug slide, like Alcon was experimenting with, to get to the other finish. This looks better. What a run. Nice. Okay. Still got it. I still got it. It's still in there somewhere deep in the brain. Just gotta activate the muscle memory for backwards driving. After beating that world record, I was feeling quite happy about myself, having somewhat redeemed myself for the embarrassing Division 2 earlier. But Track of the Day had just started and people were gonna grind this track for the next several hours. I was doing a lot of other things that stream, and when I returned to the track after my stream, the world record had gone all the way down to a 42.39 by Pua, using Alcon's bug slide strategy combined with a much faster run beforehand, and this run looked incredibly hard to beat. But I decided I was gonna give it a shot, and so late into the night at 3 AM, at 4 AM, I did some attempts to beat it. At the moment when I started recording, I was in 4th place with a 42.6, and I drove a run with a really slow start, as you're about to see. I landed too close to the inside wall here, and so over the next straight, I just have way less speed than my personal best, and you can see it's just pulling away, getting 0.14 lead. But that personal best also has a very good start, so if I could get a good end on this run, then it could still be personal best pace. And I set up a little wider than the Ghost, get a lot of speed up the hill, and then the tricky part here is that when you enter the ramp, you need to sharply steer, both to rotate but also get a better speed slide. I land on the inside, much faster bug slide, and it's a 42.59. Still 4th place, still 0.2 away from the record, but I was feeling hopeful here, so I kept hunting. A little bit later, I had a run that was far ahead of the 0.59, which makes sense, considering the splits you just saw. But if I could combine it now with a good ending, this would be a big personal best. Having 2.8 less speed than my personal best means I'm not going to fly as far, and I bug slide, I have to tap to avoid the wall, and I end up face planting it. The next great run I drove was pretty insane. Already at the first checkpoint, I gained 400ths, and then I got a really good landing and set up for this long straight, so I have more speed. I'm already 0.07 ahead, and this is going to snowball into a massive lead. And now I also get this middle downhill part correctly, tricky area, setting up to the right, have a lot of space to the left with the reactor, 0.2 ahead now. This is on pace to beat Pua. But then as I go up the hill, I misjudge and I hit the broccoli. And therefore, I'm respawning a couple of times now, just to see what the theoretical pace would have been. We were looking at the bottom timer. I get a good line up the hill now, good speed slide, and you know, I'm both like happy to see I have a great pace here, but I'm also so annoyed at myself because it's a very unforced mistake. It would have been a 42.32, which is quite close to the limit on the map, I believe. Just simply didn't steer enough. But I think this was also a product of being very tired. We're at like 5 AM here and I'm still grinding. The sun is almost shining in Stockholm as I was driving this run. So I kept going a little bit and I did get some PBs. After this run, I managed to improve down to a 42.55. Again, it was a run that had a big lead going into the last uphill. But I lost most of it to that insane bug slide the 0.59 had. Still managing to stay ahead though. Still fourth, but only 2,000s away. And then a little later, I brought it even further. I'm not showing you guys the webcam too much here because I look completely dead, but maybe we can show it for like a frame. I am so tired when I drove this run. And it is so funny to look back at because this is like a month ago now and I don't remember this, but yeah. You should not be playing Trackmania if you look like this. You should go to bed and try again the next day. I did get a 42.501. A little contemplation there as I crossed the finish line thinking, man, do I keep going or do I go to sleep? But common sense eventually got the best of me. I did go to sleep and I continued the next day. When I got back to hunting the next day, there was only a couple of hours left of the Track of the Day competition before the leaderboards would close forever. And I really had no time to waste, but yet I was still experimenting with different lines. And I think one great run that showcases this is a close attempt I had that really showcases how different lines are in backwards maps. And, you know, speed sliding is something you always have to do. The car just accelerates better when going backwards and sliding. But here in the first jump, I thought I could land a little wider than my ghost, release, and therefore have a lot more speed across the following straight. Like I have 8 more speed now, and we're just driving in a straight line speed sliding. And so I overtake my ghost, but I still have 3 more speed. And I thought this could be faster. And, you know, it's completely different to how my PB Ghost drove it. And then at the end, you can set up a lot wider to have much more speed for the bug slide, which I thought would be better, because then if you have more speed, you can jump further, hold steering fully in the bug slide, and get to the finish quicker. But as you'll see, it's not so clear. And future runs, I was kind of going back and forth with this. And the next run I drove really showcases the potential on the map if you get a perfect end segment. So we're jumping in around at the same point. I'm still going for this wide setup with a lot more speed. This time I had 7 more speed, but I'm 700ths behind. It still recoups the time I lost. And I am ahead at the 20-second mark. But now, going down the hill, I will try to get a better ending. And a better ending I did get. Though you can see, going up the last hill, I'm behind here. Slightly more speed going all the way wide to the broccoli. And then, look at this bug slide. This is beauty. I think I'm oversteering, but I actually steer perfectly. And I crash the wall, which hooks my car faster into the finish. Over the course of these attempts, I felt that I was getting faster and faster on the map. I was driving cleaner lines, I was understanding the ending better, but time was ticking and I did not have much of it left. The competition ended in about 90 minutes when I finally got this run. You're kidding, bro. 3,000ths of a second with 1.5 hours to go in the challenge. Yeah, I really thought that was going to be my final run, but somehow I completely screwed up the end and I am now 3,000ths behind Poofa. It is crazy, and I could hardly believe it, but had to get back to the grind and see if I could clutch out a win in the last moments. Lara. Oh, thank God. I was so scared we weren't gonna get there. I was so scared. Like, look, there's only 59 minutes left to go. But whew, we're in the lead, and that is a pretty good time. Thankfully, I did manage to beat him with a 42.35 with just 1 hour left in the competition. I kept hunting for a little bit after, thinking I might have to defend it, but I decided to leave it there and see if it would survive the remaining 60 minutes. I got back to my computer just a few minutes before the competition ended, and to my surprise, Pua was still hunting, and he had just set a new personal best a few minutes ago, 200th of a second behind my time. I was still in first, but at this point, it was gonna get very, very stressful. Okay, let's check out the comparison to Pua's new Ghost. Reminder, this was driven just a couple of minutes ago, and he is playing French music in-game. Is this what it's like to be a backwards player? Ratatouille soundtrack. I almost lost to this. His speed slides are so clean though. Great start by him. Nice drop. A little behind. He must have had a pretty good end. Still going for the wide line. I think this is where I won it out, but... Oh, he's gonna have a monster bug slide. Look at this. Wow, jumped so far and then... Whew. And that just about does it for how I got the world record on this backwards track of the day map. GG to all my opponents who hunted as well, like Pua and Saucy, to making it really, really close at the top. I'll probably hunt more track of the days if you guys enjoy watching these, so let me know what you thought. Subscribe to the channel for more Trackmania, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. 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 Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.